Super People's final beta is in full swing, and with early release just right around the corner, it's important for new players to become familiar with the crafting system inside of Super People. Crafting is one of the key elements that makes Super People so unique compared to the other shooter-looter battle royales we've seen so far. In this video, we'll discuss everything you need to know about crafting to help new and returning players craft more effectively so that they can take home that super sweet victory royale. How's it going, everyone? My name is Sherbert, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the odds and ends of crafting. In the game, players are able to craft weapons and armor to increase their base stats, giving them an advantage over their opponents. So the whole reason people even craft inside of Super People is to increase their base stats for the weapons and armor. The better stats they have, the higher chances they have of winning firefights. And the easiest way to increase your stats is simply through crafting. So if we go ahead and we look at the AKM, we'll notice that there's 7 different tiers that you're able to obtain of the AKM, right? There's common, uncommon, advanced, rare, heroic, legendary, and then mythical. Now, legendary and mythical are unable to be crafted, so you'll never be able to craft a legendary or mythical weapon inside of the game. So for the sake of this video, we're not going to talk about that. We're only going to focus on these first 5 versions of the AKM. Now, simply put, Super People is all about time to kill, right? It's how fast you can kill the opponent. And the higher tier weapon you have, the faster your time to kill is. So if we compare a common AKM with a damage of 27.1, with the time to kill of a heroic AKM with a damage of 29.4, we'll notice that there's a 2.3 damage increase. Now that 2.3 damage may not seem significant at first, but if it's a kill race, right, that heroic AKM is going to beat that gray AKM, 9 times out of 10 in regards to getting from 100 to 0 quicker. So it's more advantageous to have a heroic AKM versus a common. So we're always going to try to seek out the orange weapons versus any of the other things. So this is the end game goal, heroic. Now, very similar to weapons, armor has its own tier system, starting from common, uncommon, advanced, rare, and then heroic being the highest level armor you can have or make. There is no legendary mythical armor. Heroic is the highest you can get in terms of damage resistance. Now we can go ahead and look at the damage resistance kind of grow throughout the armor tree, right? So common armor, a bulletproof vest, is negative 20% damage received. Uncommon's negative 40%. Advanced is negative 50%. Rare is negative 55. And then heroic is negative 60. So this is the highest tier in terms of negative damage resistance you can receive. So it's very, very good and would behoove players to get to heroic quicker, which is why, you want to craft. So now that we know why we should be crafting, let's talk about how to craft. We're going to go ahead and do a little crafting practice by turning this common M4 into a heroic one. Simply by finding the materials needed, we're going to progress through the crafting tree. Now, one way that you can figure out by what you need is by pressing tab and then by pressing this little crafting tree right here, you can actually map out your progression all the way up to heroic M4. So it's a really, really nice little way figuring out what you need to find. Now, with the final beta being here, the developers simplified the crafting tree, so this is much simpler to get than it was in the closed beta back in February. So in order to get an uncommon M4, it looks like we'll need to find a common crafting kit. In order to progress further than that, we'll need to find an uncommon crafting kit. These can be found organically throughout the map, but for the sake of the tutorial, we'll go ahead and pull it out right here. We'll just go ahead and grab that. We'll grab that while we're here, and then we'll grab this. So you'll notice down the very bottom left, right by the mini map, that I have the option of turning my common M4 into an uncommon one. All I have to do is press Alt-1 and I start crafting. So now that I have an uncommon, I'm given the option of having an advanced M4. So again, I'm going to press Alt-1. And then this will give me a rare M4. So we'll go ahead and turn this into a rare M4. All right, so now that we look back on the skill tree, or the crafting tree, we'll notice that I have a rare M4. But in order to progress to a heroic, I'll need to finish this style or this tier of the crafting tree. Now I already have the necessary materials, so I'm going to go ahead and build a high-end blueprint by pressing Alt-1. Which will give me that. And then by combining that with the gold, I'll make a trigger. And then now that I have a trigger with my rare M4, I'm able to build a heroic M4. And so just like that, with just a certain amount of materials, you can go ahead and turn your common M4 into the heroic M4, which is, in my opinion, one of the best guns in the game. Now we can do the exact same thing in terms of armor variations by turning our common armor right here into heroic armor. And you'll notice it's the exact same thing, but just different crafting materials. We're going to take it from here all the way up to the very top. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab all the necessary materials. We're going to grab that, we're going to grab that, we're going to grab that. We're going to grab that, and we're going to grab that. So again, we're going to the option right here to make an uncommon bulletproof vest by pressing Alt-1. And then we're given the option to build an advanced bulletproof vest by pressing Alt-1 again. And then after that, we'll be given the option to press for a rare bulletproof vest, which is level 4. And then very similar to the M4, again, it's going to give us that little itty bitty skill tree saying that we cannot progress any farther unless we build this tier tree right here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to use our our hammer and our gold to build armor plates. So Alt-1 to build. And then finally Alt-1 to make heroic armor. And then there you are. You have level 5 armor and a level 5 weapon just from getting common gray armor and finding the right crafting materials. Crafting items are scattered all throughout the map and will alert players of nearby items by having them appear on your screen and minimap. The game will only show you the crafting items to what you currently have in your inventory. So if you have an AKM but you drop it for an M4, the list of items will change slightly, resulting in you having to pick up different materials. Now the items you'll need in order to continue your craft will have a very large and distinguishable yellow glow. You'll also be able to see the items you'll need from the little map on your screen and on the minimap down below. Each item is going to be very apparent in letting the player know exactly what and where the item is. So the yellow glow is really helpful in terms of progressing through the crafting tree, right? So if it's gold, I take it. If it's not gold, I leave it. It's very, very simple in terms of looting throughout the map. But how do we go ahead and loot players, right? Because we're looting duffel bags, we're no longer given that gold glow because we're looking through inventories. So for this example, we're going to go ahead and pretend this crate right here is a person. So bang, 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 shoot, shoot, bang, 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 he's dead. I run up to loot. And I'm looking for 3 things specifically. The first thing I'm looking for is anything with a red circle with a line through it. That's going to signify that I no longer need that item to progress my crafting tree. So I don't need anything with a red circle with a line through it. And also coincidentally, if it's got a little check mark right here, that means I already have it and I don't need any more, right? So this little check mark right here means we're good. I don't need to grab it. So really what I'm aiming for is anything that does not have a red circle with a line or a green check mark. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab this. And then I'm going to grab anything else. That I'll grab. And then that I'll grab. And then you'll notice that as I'm switching it over, it's turning into a check mark, right? So let's just use the knee pads, for example. Over here, nothing. Drag it over here, green check mark, I already have it, right? It's signifying that I have it in my inventory, it's ready. I need this to upgrade my next item. So I'm looking for anything that does not have a check mark or a red circle. So grab, 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 and grab, grab, and that's it. And then now I can progress my crafts a little farther. So that's how you loot players. You're just looking for specifically nothing in that little bottom right corner and grab everything that's not there. So that's it right there. Once you get the hang of crafting, it becomes second nature. The more you play, the more familiar you'll become with the rhythmic drum of hitting your hammer against the tiny little anvil. But be careful though, knowing when to craft is also just as important. You don't want to become too tunnel vision on finding crafting materials that you overlook the fact that players are eagerly trying to send you back into the lobby, so craft when you think it's safe. So now that we have a good understanding about crafting and how it's done, we're going to go ahead and jump into an actual match and see how crafting is done in a real game in real time. And then so right now I'm going to grab an uncommon vest, and I'm going to grab, for the sake of the tutorial, a common backpack, and then helmet. Let's grab a mini. Okay, and what else should we grab? Something cool. Let's grab a PPSH. So you'll notice down below, I already have the crafting materials for the backpack because I found cloth. So I'm going to go ahead and craft that. And then you'll notice that there's little yellow things right around here. That's signifying to me that this is something that is used to upgrade a weapon or armor that I'm currently holding. So we'll notice right here, I'm going to go ahead and grab it. And we'll notice too that again, on the skill tree, I already have enough to make the helmet of advanced, right? So I have paint, which will get me an advanced helmet. So we're going to go ahead and craft that. So now that we've been looting a little bit, I really want to turn my common PPSH into an uncommon PPSH, and I really want to focus on just leveling up this gun. And one way to kind of really prioritize this is right underneath the crafting tier tree. You'll notice this little box right here that's got this little magnifying glass. I'm going to go ahead and click it, and it's going to prioritize finding this specific craft to upgrade my PPSH. Now I'll notice that it's right here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it, and that's going to give me my uncommon PPSH. You'll also notice too that the crafting materials that you need are going to appear on your map and minimap. So I noted that I need this right here, and I also know that I'll need that glass way over there. So I'll have to prioritize that when I'm walking around. So I'm just going to walk over here, grab it, turn this armor into level 5, or excuse me, level 4. It's rare. And then I'm going to walk over here, and I'm going to find this glass, which is going to give me advanced blue armor. So that's it for the crafting video. If you have any questions or video ideas, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I stream out here on YouTube, so be sure to come in and say hi and check me out live. All right, guys, well, that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one.